Hey guys, welcome back to What the Fat. I hope you had an amazing week. And yesterday and the day before, we talked a little bit about Scooter, the keto pup. And then yesterday, we talked a little bit about fat phobia to fat friendly. And today, we're going to touch on a topic. It's a question we've been getting a ton about, and a lot of people are asking about it, is sugar-free candy. Can I have it? Can I not have it? What's the deal? And this is something that I unfortunately made the mistake of very early on when I started doing a ketogenic diet. I was like, you know what? My friends asked me to go to the movies. I'm gonna go. I'm still gonna have a good time. They could have their popcorn and M&Ms and all that stuff. But you know what? I'm gonna stop at the grocery store beforehand. I'm gonna get some sugar-free candy. I'm gonna go to the movie and still enjoy it and be completely fine. And so I walked into the grocery store. I went down the sugar-free candy aisle. And I grabbed some. It was like a fake Reese's, like a knockoff Reese's that had a ton of sugar alcohols in it that we'll talk about in a minute. I grabbed some gummy bears that were sugar free, and I think I grabbed some M&M looking things that were sugar free. And I grabbed them all. I stuck them in my bag, and we went off and we went into the movies. And so we're in the movie theater, and even before the movie theater started, I'm like showing this off. I'm like, guys, look at this. I got this sugar-free candy. I've been doing this keto thing, and I'm low carb. And look at these. These only have 2 grams net carbohydrates, right? And we've talked a lot about it, or you guys have heard the term net carbohydrates, which basically means total amount of carbohydrates subtracting out fiber and sugar alcohol. So a lot of these companies and a lot of these products use the term net carbohydrates to factor out or to pull out and make it sound like there's a lot less actual carbohydrates that are contributing to a glucose or insulin response than there actually are. And so I'm watching this movie. I forget what movie it was, but I'm sitting there watching this movie, and I hit about my 3rd piece of the Reese's Peanut Butter Cup sort of playoff, and all of a sudden I feel my stomach start twisting, and I'm like, oh boy, this isn't going to be good. And I'm like, all right, I brush it off, and I'm like, all right, that wasn't very comforting, but it's all good. It's all good. I'm good. And so I put those down, and I head over and I grab the gummy bears, and I start having some of those. And about 4 pieces in, I'm like, oh man, I need to run to the restroom. And let me just tell you this, without going into too much detail, I was probably in the restroom for the rest of the movie, and it was painful. My stomach hurt for like an entire day after, and I was like, damn, what the hell's going on? Like, I thought this sugar-free candy stuff was legit. I thought I could have this on a ketogenic diet because it's only 2 net carbs for the entire bag, and if I eat all 3 bags, it's only 6 grams of net carbs. And it wasn't until I learned more about what makes up these products, what's inside sugar-free candy, that I really started to understand, oh, that's what's going on. And so if you look at the back of some of these sugar-free candies, right, even one or a couple of these gummy bears, you look at them and it's like 30 grams of carbohydrates. And you're like, how the hell is that keto? Well, 28 of those grams are either a combination of fiber, sugar, and sugar alcohols. And what happens is they use a sugar alcohol that not only destroys your stomach, but actually triggers a glucose and insulin response. Yes, very unfortunate. And so the 2 that they typically utilize are maltitol, sorbitol, and then even another one that they use is polyglycol. And they utilize these sugar alcohols because not only are they cheap, but they're perfect. They're sweet for sugar-free candy, right? And so you see this over and over. Walk down your aisle. Next time you're at the grocery store, I challenge you guys this. Next time you're at the grocery store, walk down the candy aisle and look at all the sugar-free candy. You'll turn them around and you'll be like, what? Look at how much sugar alcohol is in here. Then immediately throw it back onto the rack and run away. Don't get it. Because not only will it destroy your stomach, I mean, think about that. That's so much sugar alcohol. It's having a glucose and insulin response as well. Sorbitol and maltitol actually have a glycemic index. The only sugar alcohols that really don't, you're talking about erythritol and you're talking about xylitol, which xylitol is very small, but erythritol is really one of the only, and you're starting to see more and more products that are legitimately keto utilize them. Cookies, brownies, exogenous ketone formulations are starting to utilize erythritol because it's inert, right? It's not really having a glucose or insulin response at all. The only challenge with it is that sometimes at high doses it can cause a slight GI response, nothing even close to sorbitol or maltitol. But also erythritol tends to have a cooling effect, meaning that when you consume it, kind of like in the back of your throat, you get kind of like this minty feeling. That's erythritol. In a lot of products or things that you're consuming, it's part of the sugar alcohol itself. And so there's so many unique blends that are coming up that I hope that we see a shift in this sugar and in this sugar-free candy realm where they stop using the freaking sorbitol, maltitol, polyglycol, like they stop using that junk and start, if you're going to make something that's a sugar-free candy, do it the right way, right? And there are companies out there doing that. There are gummies out there now that are using a digestion-resistant fiber, which is amazing. You're starting to see so many incredible products doing stuff the right way, right? So going into the weekend, some of you might be going to the movies, you might be seeing some new movies coming out, or you might be just staying home, enjoying some time with friends and family. Run away from the sugar-free candy that's available out on the market now. There are some great brands, there are some great companies who are doing it right. A lot of those companies aren't in your local grocery store yet. Hopefully they do take over and bombard those, but the ones that you see that are your generic sugar-free candies, avoid them like the plague. Not only will you be running to the restroom, but it likely will knock you out of ketosis if you have any significant amount. So guys, that's just a quick tip I wanted to leave you with on this Friday. I appreciate you guys tuning in this week. You got a little snippet, you got a little bit of scoop on Wednesday, you got a little bit of fat phobia and fat friendly yesterday, and then today really just hammering it down, going into the weekend, talking a little bit about sugar-free candy. Next week, you'll be hearing from a very, very special guest that I will tease throughout the rest of the week. Into next week, you guys will love them and appreciate them, and their story is absolutely amazing. You won't want to miss it. So subscribe, leave a review. Really, really appreciate you guys. I've been getting so much feedback. We have so many different countries. It's amazing watching the analytics of how many people are listening to this. So please, if you see value in it, if you see a way that this might help a friend or family member, share it. That's what we're here to do. So I appreciate you guys. Love y'all. Continue to make positivity louder. Have an amazing weekend, and I will chat with you next week. See you guys.